we have, she is a legendary, really, in my mind, voice actor who has been participated in so many projects that you have probably heard, video games, movies, a lot of stories that we're going to get to. We're joined now by Holly Fields. Hello, Holly.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for hopping on the show with us today.
Thank you for having me.
I have so many questions just on the voice acting side and everything that you've done. And I'm sure so many people have heard your voice and have questions too. And I will say that we're broadcasting live. So if anybody does have questions for you, please drop those in there. But let's just start. Your career is really impressive. You have been a part of movies and entertainment for so long, and you kind of grew up in Hollywood in the 80s and 90s, right?
I did. Yes. With River Phoenix, Corey Haim, all those, Matthew Broderick. Yeah. I had a really good time back then.
I've been looking.
I grew up with Ollie Brad Pitt before he was famous, and Leonardo DiCaprio and Jennifer Aniston, and
wow.
Yeah.
What was that like? I mean, what kind of stories do you have from that? I mean, being a part of that kind of epicenter at that time.
I have so many stories. Well, we used to go to Alfie Soda Pop parties. All the celebrity kid actors would go, and that would be like our kind of high school party, because a lot of us didn't go to high school. So we'd meet up and we'd all just drink soda pop and dance.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm taking a look at some pictures right now that are hopping up there.
Yes.
Is that you?
Yeah, that's me.
What is that on the set of?
That's from Munsters Today.
That's right. The second version of Munsters that came out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I mean, I'm sure there's a ton of stories. I did see something about Corey Haim as well.
Yeah, I was engaged to Corey Haim back in the 90s, and we were really good friends. And now I'm actually doing a script with his mom. We're producing a movie that he wrote, and we're pitching it right now.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so he was amazing, great guy.
Yeah, that's wow. I mean, what an interesting time to be a part of, for you. I mean, for anybody just to know something like that at that time. I mean, those are just legendary people, and obviously you are too. So thank you for sharing some of that. I'm sure you can write a book at some point, I would imagine.
Oh my gosh, yeah. My aunt actually wrote a bestseller. Kind of the same situation. She was married to Howard Hawks, who directed Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, His Girl Friday, Rio Bravo, and wrote a bestseller, and everyone's telling me to write a book about what happened.
Yeah, so, I think you should. I think you have the stories that I'm sure you can't tell on here.
Oh, there's so many stories. Yeah.
Well, let's go on. Is that you with MacGyver right there?
Yeah, yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's it. That is crazy. Were you on MacGyver?
I was. That was the first job I did when I got to LA. I got the show MacGyver.
Wow.
Yep.
That's right there alone. I mean, that would be enough for most people to just be like, okay, that's it. I can claim I was on MacGyver for the rest of my life. I mean, that was awesome.
Yeah, the original MacGyver.
The original MacGyver, the true MacGyver.
The true.
Well, how did you go from acting into getting into voice acting and that side of things?
Well, I was living I was born in Sacramento, and we moved to Texas, and Molly Ringwald's dad asked my mom to get me into acting because I really wanted to pursue it.
Wait, Molly Ringwald's dad?
Yeah. Yes, because Molly Ringwald is from Sacramento, and so we went to school together. And she's older, so she and my sister were friends. Wow. So my parents said okay. I begged them, and they let me do it. And I got an agent in Dallas, and started into voiceover. And I got really lucky. I had done like 200 voiceover jobs by the time I was 18, and came out to LA. And then one day, I was with an agency, and they said, "You sound like Cameron Diaz. Do you want to audition for this Shrek job? They're looking for a voice double for Cameron Diaz." And next thing I know, I was revoicing everything for Cameron Diaz and working on Shrek. And then I got Star Wars: The Old Republic. I didn't know it was Star Wars: The Old Republic, because they just told us we were auditioning for The Old Republic. And
but you didn't know it was for a Star Wars video game.
Oh, it was this big secret. So I got home, and my agent called and said, "You got it. And by the way, it's Star Wars." So excited, because I'm the biggest Star Wars fan. And yeah, that was back in 2010, and we've been working on it ever since.
What was that moment like, knowing that you were going to be part of, this Star Wars franchise?
I screamed so loud that my neighbors called, and they said, "Are you okay?" I was so excited. I'm still excited. It's the best job ever.
No, I mean, yeah, that's amazing. I mean, to be a part of anything Star Wars. Now,
yes.
When you go into doing a voiceover for that, how does that work? Do they give you just a whole big page of lines and you just read it line by line? Or do you read do you improvise? Like, how does that work?
No, no, no. It's really secretive. They give you the script when you get there, and it's like a book.
Okay.
Very stressful because you have all these very high up men in the room that are like very talented men that are producing and directing you, and then you have people listening on the phone as well. And it's Steven Spielberg, it's
What?
huge people. Yeah, you're working for like the best of the best, and it's Disney and George Lucas, and so they give you the like your lines because it's so secretive, and then you just go. You get three takes. Sometimes they'll give you more, and then you're there for hours, and then that's it, and you go home. You have no idea what the story is because it's so secretive. They have you sign a contract where you can't talk about it, and I can now because it's come out. But yeah,
Right.
for a year and a half I couldn't talk about it and tell people I was working on it.
Wow. That's got to be
Yeah.
hard to be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to work. What do you do? I can't tell you.
I know. I want to tell people. I mean, you're working on Star Wars. You want to tell people.
Yeah.
So we finally got to talk about it at Comic-Con, and that was so exciting. So the first time I could talk about it was Comic-Con to the
Wow.
audience of like 5,000. So
Well, like how many different video games have you worked on?
I don't even know. I worked on God of War,
What were you in God of War?
Aphrodite's. That's the thing is you literally.
So you don't
it's
even, yeah. You like,
You know, I know. I mean, I know for most of them, but a lot of times they bring you in, and or you're given the part. You don't even audition. You just go in and you're given a script. You don't even have the title of your name or anything, and you read, and then you go home, and then you get paid. And I don't play video games because I'm so bad at video games. I play Pac-Man. So when I play Star Wars: Old Republic, I can't even get to where my character is. So
that's what I was going to ask. Yeah. So you voice all these, but then you don't get to actually play
don't
your
even
character.
No, I can like Google like Nadia Gurel, and then I get to hear cause the fans put up different clips, so it's pretty cool to listen to what the fans put up, and the fans are amazing.
That's what I was going to ask. Like being a part of, especially with the Star Wars franchise, what is it like going to event? Do you go to events? You said Comic-Con. Like what kind of things do you have that you go to for that?
I've spoken at Comic-Con twice. They'll have us come to events sometimes. I really want to go to Star Wars Land, I want to go to the opening of Star Wars Land at Disney.
Oh,
So-
yeah. We were just talking about that earlier this week. That you probably have an in to get into there. I'm going to guess more than we would.
I hope so. Oh my gosh, I hope so. I was actually the last time I was recording, the director and I were talking about that. So I hope to God, because I'm just such a Star Wars fan that I will sneak in if I have to.
Okay. What is your favorite Star Wars movie ever?
The first one.
The first one. It's still,
The-
the first one.
Yeah.
A New Hope.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
But I love them all. But the ones in the middle, not so much. But the last one's amazing, and then the first ones are my favorite. How about you?
Empire Strikes Back. It's
Yeah.
Empire.
Oh,
Yeah. I've got to go with Empire.
they're all great.
Let me ask you this. So, do people ever recognize you when you're out with your speaking?
Yes. When I was doing a lot, I don't really do on camera anymore, but when I was doing on camera, yeah, it was weird. They'd always say, "Didn't I go to high school with you, or don't I know you?" And it was that's the normal. But it's rare that they come up and they actually know my name. They'll know like characters I played.
Yeah.
So, like when I was actually in the bathroom one time talking, and someone recognized my voice from MacGyver. So
From
I'm
MacGyver
just-
of all things.
yeah, MacGyver when I was like 12. Yeah, actually, I got recognized a lot from Quantum Leap, and then the OC. The OC, oh my gosh! After doing the OC, every time I would go to the mall, kids would come up to me and they would be all excited, and yeah, the OC was probably the one I got recognized the most from.
Wow. That's amazing. Well, I mean, I want to say thank you too for hopping on our show. Just taking
Thanks
some
for having
time. Can you tell us what you're working on now?
Yes, right now we're working on the Old Republic still again, and I'm producing a reality show about DNA because 25,000 people are switched at birth a year nowadays with our technology. So we're producing a show about that.
Wow.
And yeah, it's actually fascinating. And I'm producing the movie with Corey Haim's mom about
Real quick, how many people are per year? 25,000? Is that what you said?
nowadays. So
Wow.
back in the 60s and 70s and 50s, a lot more than that. So
That's
people
crazy.
are discovering now that they were switched at birth and they didn't even realize it. So it's fascinating.
That's crazy to think about that that's still happening. So you've got a documentary about that, and then
Yes.
the Corey Haim movie that you said that you're working on.
Right. Yeah. I'm producing and then I'm also acting. Yeah. Yes.
Fan-
And I'm working for, Cameron Diaz kind of left the business, but I was working on her voice forever, but hopefully Shrek's coming back. So we're kind of in the talks right now about that. So we'll see.
Nice. Well, Holly, what's the best way for people to follow you and just see everything that's going on in your life?
Maybe Twitter or Instagram.
Okay.
Holly1 on Instagram, and follow me. I post some fun photos. I sing also sometimes with Toto and Chicago and Spencer Davis.
How do you just throw that in there? I mean, that's you have your life. Yeah, I will definitely be following you after this. I mean,
yeah, I do a lot of animal rescue. So they do animal rescue as well. So we do a lot of events. We're doing one in February for animal rescue. So Toto and a lot of amazing guys are going to get up and sing, and I get to sing with them.
wow. Well, that's a whole interview in its own right. But Holly, thank you so much for hopping on today, to talk to us about this. And we'll definitely follow you and keep us abreast of everything that's going on.
Thank you so much for having me. Have a great day.
Thanks, Holly.
Bye, guys.
All right. And thanks, everybody, for tuning in to Digital Trends Live. This is what I'm talking about. We get to have fun interviews, learn new things, and what an amazing career that Holly has. And coming up, we're still going to be heading to our New York studio in a little bit to talk to Scott Cohen, National Training Manager of Samsung, who's going to be in studio with our editor-in-chief, Jeremy Kaplan. That's in a little bit, but first, we're going to be talking to Michael Reitblatt, who is the CEO of Forder. And Forder is one of the agencies that can help us learn more about how we secure ourselves, especially in this upcoming holiday season. So he's going to discuss that and a lot more, all coming up here in a minute with more Digital Trends Live.